Hello everyone, welcome back to Untitled Crochet. So in today's video, I'm going to be making something that I have never made before, something that I'm very excited to make, and that is a mesh vest. It's a mesh tank top, yes. I got inspiration from this other crochet tuber, if you will. I believe he maybe from Brazil. Anyway, he speaks Portuguese, and yeah, he has these awesome tutorials. So I'm going to be making my own tutorial in English because his is in Portuguese, and hopefully, yeah, showing you how to make one. Okay, I'm very excited. Let's begin. Things you will need include some yarn. I have these 3 balls. Okay, they're 100% mercerized cotton. Okay, and I have 3 of them. I'll leave a link to these in the description box. I'm not sure. I think maybe I only need 2 of the 3, but we'll see. Okay, obviously you're gonna need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a size 3.25 millimeter, and that is US crochet hook. This is probably the smallest hook I've used on this channel thus far. So yeah. You also need a couple of stitch markers and a darning, weaving, tapestry needle, and of course a pair of scissors. Let's begin. Okay, so the first thing we need to figure out is how, because we're gonna chain out, right? Many chains, a large series of chains, and we need to figure out how many chains we need to make. Well, that number of chains is completely dependent on the circumference of the chest area of the person. So for this guy, or for a guy, you want to take a tape measure and measure the circumference, okay, of the chest area, obviously under the arms, right? And for the person that I'm making this for, their chest circumference is 38 inches. Okay, you can't see that, but yes, 38 inches. So now I need to figure out how many chains will equal 38 inches. Well, I've already done this, okay? And I know approximately how many chains will equal 38 inches. But here's the thing. You're crocheting these chains in multiples of 16. So multiple of 16, okay? So when I crocheted out 156 chains, that gave me my 38 inches, I'll say 156 chains. But 156 chains is not a multiple of 16. So in that case, I want to crochet out a multiple of 16 that is as close to 156 chains as possible. And so let me give you some multiples of 16. So you have 144, you have 160, 176. Let me skip ahead a little bit. You also have 224 and 240. I'll stop there, okay? I don't want to make it too small, so I'm not going to use the 144, but this 160 seems perfect. So if it's a little bit more than 38 inches, that's fine. So that's the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to chain out 160 chains. And you're going to see that this is going to lead me to have 20 blocks. And now I know you don't know what I'm talking about right now, but just remember 20 blocks. I'm planting the seed. Okay. So once again, get your circumference of the chest area of the person that you're making this for, and then list out some multiples of 16, for instance, 144, 160, 176, 224, 240, 272, 288, whatever, okay? And choose the number of chains that is closest to whatever that circumference is. In this case, for me, it's going to be 38. All right, let me make these chains. So now that we've gotten some math done, let's begin making these chains. We'll take our yarn, wrap it around our finger that way, twist exchange, wrap it around our finger that way again, pull this one over that one and off the finger while lifting up on the loop that's still on the finger. Insert the crochet hook into the loop and then pull to tighten. And now we will begin the making of these chains. I suggest you get to a quiet place and you really focus on this, because you don't want to lose count at like your 86th chain and like, was that 86 or 87? Then you have to count all of those 80 something chains, okay? So I'll start out with the first 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so I've made 10 chains. I have 150 more to go, so I'm going to check back in once I get all 160 made. Make sure that your chains aren't twisting, that you're looking at the front side of all of them as you continue to make them, okay? I'll check back in. I gotta go focus. See you in a bit. All right, so I'm just taking a little break to give my mind a little bit of a rest. Okay, I have chained 60, so I have 100 more to go. And yeah, if you are easily distractible, you may want to stop at a number that's easy to remember. You can write it down, take a break, give your mind a little bit of a break so you're not focusing so hard, and then get back to it. Okay, so right now I have 60 chains and I have 100 more to go. So maybe I'll make 50 more and then take another break and then make 50 more after that, and then I'll have all 160. But notice, you guys, that they're all facing the same way in one line. It's very important, so make sure it's not twisting on you as you're making these. All right, I'll see you in 100 more chains. Alrighty, you guys, I have all 160 chains made. I don't know why that was so stressful for me. I think it's just because I am so afraid of losing count and then having to go back and try to count all the chains. And yeah, 100 plus chains is a lot to have to count. But I wasn't distracted. My chains look beautiful and I'm ready to continue, okay? So now it's time to slip stitch to the very first chain, okay? So let's see if I can get in here a little bit closer. Okay, so what I like to do to make sure that my rope of chains is not twisting on me is I like to just kind of slide my finger through the chains so that they're all on one side like this, all the way back to the first chain. See how it tried to twist, so I turn it back like that. So I'm looking at the front of the chains. Okay, like that. And I just take my time. Okay, now I'm at the first chain. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curve it like that. So now I'm looking at the backs of the chains. Okay, I know it's a little hard to see because it's so small. But this is the first chain right there. So I'm looking at the front of the chains here, and then at the back of the chains there. And I'm just gonna insert my crochet hook into that first chain like that. Okay. Now I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to slip stitch. So pull all the way through. So 1, and then 2. And now it's connected. Now I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to put 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, okay? So I don't know how well you can see because it's so small. Maybe I'll see if I can zoom it in when I'm editing this, but I slip stitched into that first chain there, okay? This right here, so there's the little hump there. I always think of when I look at the back of the chains as like the back of Godzilla's, like the Godzilla's back, right? So there's one little nodule right there, and then that's the next chain right there. That's where I'm going to go in and put the first double crochet because that's the next stitch. Okay. So to make a double crochet, I'll yarn over, and then as I said, enter that next stitch which is there. I'll pull that out now, and then I make the double crochet by yarning over again, pulling through to the front. And there are my 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. I'll yarn over and go through 2. 1, 2, and then yarn over again and go through the remaining 2. 1, 2. And now, as I said, I need to put 3 more double crochet, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. So yarn over to prepare for the double crochet. Right there, that's the next stitch right after that hump there. So right in there, and then I just make the double crochet. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay. Once again, there's a lump there or a hump. That's the next stitch. So that's where we're going to go next, just so you can see. Okay. So yarn over, and you can see kind of right there from that angle. See how the last double crochet that I made is pulling up on that loop. So you clearly see that where the darning weaving tapestry needle is the next one, right? Okay. So yarn over, enter, pull that out now, and then make your double crochet. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. All right, and then I have 1 more to make. So yarn over, that right there is the next one. So just insert my crochet hook like that. Yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. All right, right now, counting that initial chain 3, I have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what I do is I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to skip 3, and I'm going to start this process all over again in that 4th stitch away. So let's count 4 stitches. Let's mark it now. So that stitch is occupied with the double crochet. So this is the next one. 1, 2, 3. So those are the skipped 3 stitches, which correspond to the 3 chains that I just made. And in this 4th one, that's where I'm going to put a double crochet. Okay? Let's do it. So yarn over. I've chained 3. Let's yarn over. Skip the next one 1. Skip the next one 2. Skip the next one 3. And in that 4th one, where the darning weaving tapestry needle is, that's where I'm going to put the double crochet. Okay, and now I'm going to put 1 double crochet in the next 4. So yarn over, here's the next one, double crochet, yarn over, here's the next one, double crochet, yarn over, just find the little hump and go just to the left of it, and that's you inserting your crochet hook into the chain. Okay, and then 1 more, because I said groups of 5. Yarn over. Here's the hump. Go just a little bit to the left, and that's the chain. And you'll grab one strand, 1 loop. Okay. So what you're going to notice is you're going to have a group of 5 and then a space. You'll have 3 chains up top and 3 skipped chains at the bottom. And you're going to repeat this all the way back around. Let me show you one more iteration. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Yarn over to prepare. Okay. Now skip 1, 2, 3, and in 4. That's where we put the first of the 5 double crochet. So 1, next one, 2, next one, 3, next one, 4, next one, 5. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. Isn't that nice? Okay. So, remember I told you you're going to have 20 blocks if you chain 160? These are the blocks. 1, 2, 3. Right now I have 3 blocks. Okay. I'm going to have 20 of these. And it's very important that you chain out a multiple of 16. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of working in sections of 8. I have the 5 stitches there plus 3. That's 8, right? 5 more there plus 3. That's 8. 5 there, and then I'm going to skip 3 and have 3 chains there. That'll be 8. You want to, when you get back around, you want to have that 20th block, and then you want to have 3 available chains, which you're going to chain 3 and then connect there. Okay. So if you don't have the correct number of chains, like initial chains, a multiple of 16, then it's not going to work out. Also, you won't have an even number of blocks. You want to make sure that you have an even number of blocks. Well, 20 is an even number, so it works out. Okay, so it's very important that you really take the time necessary to get the correct number of chains so that the math works out. All right. So I'm going to continue working this round, and then I'll check back in once it's time to connect. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll all work out well for me and I'll have the 3 remaining. Okay? See you there. So stressful. Not really. Just take your time. Alrighty, you guys. I am almost back around to the beginning. I just made my 20th block there. I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And remember, I told you I should have 3 chains here. So 1, 2, 3 at the end to skip. And so my initial count of 160 chains was accurate. So skip 1, skip 2, skip 3. And then you're going to connect to the 3rd chain up of this chain 3, that first chain 3. So make sure that you have it the right way. Right now, it wants to twist down, so I'm going to make sure it's up. Tops of the stitches, okay, connect with tops so that it's all going the same way. So 1, 2, 3, 3rd chain up, and I'm just going to slip stitch. So yarn over and pull all the way through like that, okay? And this is what I have. All 20. So they're all together like that, okay? Notice that it's just one straight revolution, okay? Make sure that when you're looking at the tops of the stitches, you're looking at the tops of the stitches all the way around, okay? You don't want there to be any twisting whatsoever, okay? Alrighty, now to start round 2, we're gonna chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in that 4th chain up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to put a stitch marker in that chain, okay? So just put that stitch marker in there. The reason that we're doing that is because that 5th chain that we made, the one we made after that 4th chain, that's going to create a chain 1 space in between our treble crochets, okay? So now we're going to make a treble crochet, and we're going to put the treble crochets in these blocks, but only in the first, third, and fifth double crochet. This chain 5, technically the first 4 chains counts as a treble crochet, and then that 5th chain is a chain 1 space. So we have our first treble crochet made. It's made of chains. So now let's make the second one. To make a treble crochet, we yarn over twice. So 1, 2. And remember I said the treble crochet goes into the first, third, and fifth double crochet of the block. So that chain 3 counted as the first double crochet. That's the second one. And so the third one, ding, 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 is where we go. And we just slice the icing off the top of the cake. Yarn over, pull through to the front. And now we have 4 loops on our crochet hook. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. Yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. And one more time, yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2. And that's how you make a treble crochet. Now we chain 1 to create a chain 1 space, and then we're going to skip 1 and go to that 5th double crochet, and we're going to put a treble crochet in there. So yarn over twice, 1, 2, go to the 5th one, so skip 1, go over to the 5th one, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front for 4 loops, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, go through 2, 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And now we have basically 1 treble crochet in the first, third, and 5th double crochet of that block below. When we get to this chain 3 space, we follow suit. We create another chain 3 space. So chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. And now we start it all over again with this next block. Remember, treble crochet in the first, third, and 5th double crochet. So yarn over twice for the treble crochet, find the first double crochet, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and make your treble crochet. Now we chain 1, going to yarn over twice to prepare, 1, 2, skip 1, go into the 3rd one, slicing the icing off the top of the cake, and make your treble crochet. Chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, go into the 5th one, and make your treble crochet. And that's what it's looking like. Now we're at the chain 3 space, so we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. First one gets a treble crochet. Chain 1. Skip 1, go into the 3rd one, make a treble crochet. Chain 1. Skip 1, go into the 5th double crochet, and make your treble crochet. Make sure it's not twisting on you. If it is, just untwist it. We're at the chain 3 space, so we create another chain 3 space right on top. 1, 2, 3, and we start that same pattern all over again. And so we're just going to continue repeating this pattern all the way around until we get back here. And we'll chain 3 and slip stitch into that 4th chain up where that yellow stitch marker is. Okay, continue in that fashion and I will meet you there. Have fun. All right, so I am almost back to the yellow stitch marker. I just made the final treble crochet in that 5th double crochet of that final or 20th block for me. So now I need to get over to that chain 4, which counts as a treble crochet. How do I do that? Well, there's a chain 3 space there, so I know I need to chain 3 to create a chain 3 space above. And then I slip stitch into the 4th chain up. I've already marked it, but if I hadn't marked it, then I would just start from below 1, 2, 3, and 4. So slip stitch into the 4th chain up. All right, I'm going to take out this stitch marker. And now I'm going to go back to the double crochet type of round. So I'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I can put the stitch marker in that third chain up, or if you don't need it, that's fine. I'll put it in there for the beginners. All right, and now that chain 3 counts for that chain 4, which is basically a treble crochet. So now we need to reestablish these blocks. How do we do that? Well, we know we need 5 double crochet in a block, right? The first chain 3 counts as a double crochet, then we get to that chain 1 space. Remember, that was the chain 5, and I told you that 5th chain would create the chain 1 space. Well, there's the chain 1 space. So we're going to put a double crochet in that chain 1 space, like so. So remember to only yarn over once for the double crochet. All right, now we're going to put a double crochet in that middle treble crochet by slicing the icing off the top of the cake. Make your double crochet. Now we get to the next chain 1 space, so we put a double crochet in there. And you guys already know there's the 3rd treble crochet or the 5th stitch over, right? So we go in there, slicing the icing off the top of the cake, and make our final double crochet. And just like that, we've reestablished our 5 double crochet block. We're at a chain 3 space, so we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we repeat that. So first treble crochet gets a double crochet. Chain 1 space gets a double crochet. Middle treble crochet gets a double crochet. Next chain 1 space gets a double crochet. And 3rd treble crochet gets a double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and repeat. So you'll continue repeating around, reestablishing those blocks. From here on out, we're going to repeat this row, the block row, and the treble crochet. I guess technically they're rounds. Okay, we're going to repeat these 2 rounds. You're going to, and I am as well, we're going to crochet 13 total rounds with this alternating pattern. And you're going to notice that you're going to end with the block round, the one with the double crochet. So it'll be double crochet, treble crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, and so on until you complete the 13th round, and it'll be a round of double crochet. Continue in that fashion, and I will meet you once I get all 13 rounds made. Don't forget, once you get back around, slip stitch into the 3rd chain up, right where the stitch marker is, and then remember to chain 5 to start the next treble crochet round, and then start that pattern again with the treble crochets. And you can put the stitch marker in the 4th chain up so that you remember that you need to slip stitch into the 4th chain, not the 5th chain, but the 4th chain, so that that 5th chain creates that chain 1 space. All right, okay, enough explaining. I'll meet you a little bit later. All right, this is for those of you who prefer to see it, what I was describing. So I've just reestablished that 20th block in the 3rd round. Now I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the 3rd chain up. 1, 2, 3, that's the one with the stitch marker, like that. And now it's time to start the next type of round, which is the treble crochet round. So I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as my first treble crochet of this round. And then I'm going to chain a 5th one, and that's going to be the chain 1 space. Now I'm going to place my 2nd treble crochet. Remember, treble crochets only go in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th stitch. So I yarn over twice to prepare. 1, 2, skip 1, go into the 3rd double crochet. So that's where I place my middle treble crochet in the 3rd stitch. and then chain 1 to create a chain 1 space, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, go into the 5th stitch over and place my 3rd treble crochet. And then remember, so you remind yourself to slip stitch in the 4th chain up and not the 5th one. You can put a stitch marker in the 4th chain up like that, so that when you get back around, you slip stitch into the 4th chain, leaving that 5th chain, which will create the chain 1 space. All right, that should be enough explanation. Now I'll see you once we get to round, or after completing round 13. All right, you guys, so I am not quite done with my 13th round, but I need to attach another ball of yarn. So I thought that would be a good time to show you how to do this, because you're definitely gonna have to do this. So the way I attach my yarn is, and I've shown people how to do this in videos, and they say, oh, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work because you're not doing it correctly. So watch closely. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to tie this strand to this strand there. Okay. So let's grab this like that. Notice I'm tying with the strand, the first strand I told you. So I'm tying that strand to the other strand, to the second strand like that. Now, here's the second strand. I'm going to tie this strand to that first strand. It's not the same to tie this one to that. I'm going to tie this one to that. So watch my hands and watch the strands. So here's the one I'm tying it to right here. So wrap it around like that, bring it. And then, as I said before, I'm tying this strand to that first strand like that. All right. Now that I have both strands tied to each other, I'll pull like this. And regardless of how hard I pull, it does not come undone. If you tie the correct strands to the other strand, then you will also be successful like me. Not to brag, but don't tell me it doesn't work, because it does. All right, and then I'm just gonna cut the excess off and continue on. So just to show you, cut them down like that, and then it's like that, and as I said, it does not come undone. And then I'm just gonna continue with this 13th round, which is the round of double crochet. Okay. And once I get to the end of this round, I will pop back on and I'll show you what's next. See you there. As you can see, I'm at the end of round 13. It's the double crochet round. So now I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, 3 third chain up of that first chain 3 at the beginning of this round. Alrighty. I am going to chain 1 and then, yes, cut my yarn. Isn't that crazy? I just attached another one and now I got to cut this one. It'll be okay. All right, while I'm here, this is what I want you to do. So we're going to line up the blocks. This block will serve as one of the corners. So remember, each block has a grouping of 5 double crochet. For this block, that first chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3. So you want to go through or go to the middle double crochet, and we're going to just put a stitch marker on it. Okay. And I'm going to go through the entire top. Alrighty. So as I said, we're going to line these blocks up. This block right here with that stitch marker will be on the left side, and then we're going to also have a block on the right side. So we're going to have to split this block like that, and it's going to be the corner. Okay. So once you line your blocks up, if you split that in half, then you can start to line your blocks up. And what will happen as you make your way across is that you're going to have a block in the right corner as well. So I'm going to do this. like this. And for this reason, you guys, you need an even number of blocks. That's why I was talking about that earlier. All right, and then as you see, this is the other corner block, the block in the right corner. So what I'm also gonna do is put a stitch marker on that middle double crochet of that block. So I will, now that I've marked this block, all the other ones are lined up, and for the even number, I should have 2 extra blocks, 1 at each corner. So for this one, I'll open it up temporarily, and then I'll locate the middle block, 1, 2, 3, and in that center, the middle double crochet, and in that center double crochet, I'm gonna put a stitch marker there. Take that out now, and just mark it like that. All right. So you see that stitch marker is on the middle double crochet. It's 2 off to the right of it and 2 off to the left of it. Okay, so this is what we have. By the way, I have, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and then 19, 20. So I told you I would have 20 blocks. So you should have an even number of blocks as well. Now we're gonna crochet the front side, okay? And then we're gonna come back and crochet the back side. Or you can crochet the back side and then crochet the front side. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter which one you do first. They're pretty much identical anyway, okay? So basically, we're going to start from 1 stitch marker. We're going to attach some yarn there, and then we're going to crochet, and now we're going to work in rows. So we're going to be turning our work. We're going to crochet to the other stitch marker, chain how many ever for a given row, turn our work, and then go back to the other stitch marker, back and forth like that for several rows. The first few initial rows we're going to be decreasing. So this is probably the trickiest part of the pattern. It's not hard, but it is tricky. So you need to pay close attention, okay? Let's begin. So I'm going to first come to this block where that yellow stitch marker is in my tail. And I'm going to zoom in now so that you can see. So I have my block, I have my 5 stitches there. The chain 3 and then the 4 double crochets. And remember that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. In this leftmost double crochet, and that one, that's where I'm going to attach my yarn. So just grab my yarn, and then I'll hook it on and pull it through like that. Just pull it through. And then you can tie a couple of knots. So 1, 2. And now think about what the next, in this case it's going to be row, but what the next stitch of the row will be. Well, we just finished a double crochet row. So now it's time to go back to the treble crochet row. So because I'm making the treble crochet, okay, that means I need to chain 4 instead of 3. So I'm going to insert my crochet hook into that same last double crochet, slicing the icing off the top of the cake, okay? Then I'm going to yarn over, pull through to the front. Now I have the yarn on my hook like that, and I'm going to chain, yes, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, in this chain 3 space, this is where I'm going to put a, I guess it'd be a TR 3 together. So I'm going to do a decrease, and I'm going to crochet 3 treble crochet together, okay? I know it sounds complicated, but it's fine. Trust me. Let's go with it. So to make a treble crochet, as you guys already know, you yarn over twice. 1, 2. And in this chain 3 space, we will start the first treble crochet. So just go in that big space, yarn over, pull through to the front, and that's going to give us 4 loops on our crochet hook. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2 again. 1, 2, pause. Now we're going to start another treble crochet. Yarn over twice, 1, 2, go back into that chain 1 space and let's start another treble crochet. Pull through to the front. Now we have 5 loops on our crochet hook. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. All right, I said a treble crochet 3 together, so I have 1 more to start. So yarn over twice, 1, 2. Go back into that chain 3 space 1 more time, yarn over, pull through to the front. Now I have 6 loops on my crochet hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, go through the first 2, 1, 2, and then yarn over, go through the next 2, 1, 2, and then that's going to leave me with 4 loops on my crochet hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I will yarn over and go through all 4 loops. And that is my treble crochet 3 together. Now I'm going to start the normal pattern of the, in this case, row. It was a round, but it's a row now. So instead of chaining, now I'm just going to go right to the first stitch because I'm right at the block, right? So I'm going to put a treble crochet in that first block. So yarn over twice, slice the icing off top of the cake, make the treble crochet. And then you guys already know this pattern. Chain 1, skip 1, and in the third one, the middle one, put another treble crochet. Chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, and then go to that 5th double crochet and make a treble crochet. Now we're at the chain 3 space, so we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we just start the pattern again. Treble crochet in the first double crochet, chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, in the middle double crochet, put a treble crochet, chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, and in that 5th double crochet we will put a treble crochet. Now we're at the chain 3 space, so we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'll continue this way to the other side, and then I'll show you how to decrease on the other side. See you there. So I have made it to the other stitch marker, and here's the decrease. So you notice that in the block without the stitch marker, the one just before the one with the stitch marker, I did the normal treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet pattern. So now I got you guys, I always tell you that symmetry is everything in crochet. Okay, so I'm at this chain 3 space, and so basically using this chain 3 space and that first double crochet in this direction, I am going to decrease over 4 treble crochets. And you might be wondering, why 4? You only decreased over 3 when you started this row. Well, remember we had the chain 4 at the beginning. So because we obviously can't come from a stitch and chain 4, then we're just gonna put a double crochet in it and combine it with the treble crochet 3 together, so it becomes a treble crochet 4 together. Anyway, don't worry about it if that doesn't make sense. Just know that, remember at the beginning of this row, that chain 4 counts as a treble crochet. All right, so here we go. Yarn over twice in the chain 3 space. Let's start our first treble crochet by yarning over, going through two times, and pause, start another one. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, start another one. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause. And when we started this row and we decreased, we had 4, and then we yarned over and went through all 4, right? But this time we're going to have 5 because we need to add 1 more there. So pause, yarn over twice, go into that first double crochet, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and then we have our 5 loops, and this time we'll yarn over and go through all 5 loops. Okay, and now we've decreased in this direction. So the next row will be a row of double crochet, right? Because we just did a row of treble crochet. So for the double crochet, we only chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And it will also be a decrease row. So we'll turn our work. And now let me show you how to decrease for this row. Alrighty, so before we begin, let's analyze. So this was that treble crochet 4 together, right? And here's the top of it. And out of that top comes the chain 3 basically. So the chain 3 counts for all that. That's taken care of. Here's the next stitch right there. And that's where we're going to go in, okay? So remember, this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So technically we're going to be creating a double crochet 3 together. So watch what I do. So I'm going to start a double crochet in this stitch right there. So I'll yarn over once because it's a double crochet, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, pause. Now I'm going to start another double crochet in this chain 1 space. So I'll yarn over, go in there, yarn over, pull through to the front. Okay, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. All right, and now I have my 3 loops. So I'm going to yarn over one more time and then go through all 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. And that's technically our double crochet 3 together. Now you might be thinking, once again, you only use 2 double crochets. Well, I'm counting those 3 chains there at the beginning as a double crochet. So all that is together. All right, now I'm going to continue with the pattern, the normal double crochet row pattern. So the last stitch that I crocheted into was that chain 1 space. So this treble crochet right there is the next stitch. So I'll yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and make my double crochet. Then here's a chain 1 space where I put a double crochet. And then here's another treble crochet, final one, where I put a double crochet. Notice how I've decreased, okay? So the slant continues, that's what we want. Now we're at this chain 3 space, so you can imagine that we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll continue with the pattern that you guys are already very familiar with. In the treble crochet, we put a double crochet. In the chain 1 space, we put a double crochet. In the middle treble crochet, we put a double crochet. In the next chain 1 space, we put a double crochet. And in that 5th treble crochet, we put a double crochet, creating a block. Then we arrive at the next chain 3 space, so we chain 3. And we repeat this pattern until we get to the other stitch marker, okay? I'll see you there, and then I'll show you how to do a similar decrease at the other end of the row. So now we're at the other side. You can see that yellow stitch marker down there in the row below, but here's the decrease there, okay? So I'm at this chain 3 space, I've chained 3, and now remember, symmetry is everything. So I'm going to put a double crochet in this treble and that chain 1 space, and then in that treble, and then I'm going to double crochet 3 together over what's remaining. So this is how it goes. So yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and make my double crochet. Okay, now I go to the chain 1 space, make a double crochet, and now I go to the next treble crochet and make a double crochet. And as you can see, those are my three double crochet. Now I need a double crochet 3 together. So here's the next stitch, the chain 1 space. So I'll start a double crochet, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then here is another treble crochet. So I'll start another double crochet in there, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, go through the first 2, pause, and then remember this was the treble crochet 4 together, okay? So I am going to go in there and start a double crochet. So yarn over, slice the icing, off the top of that cake there, only that top of that DC4 together, or TR4 together, treble crochet 4 together. Yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, and then I'm left with 4 loops. So yarn over and go through all 4. Okay, and you see the slant continues, and yeah, that's the decrease. All right, the next row will be the final row of decrease. So just get through this next row, you guys, and it'll be smooth sailing for you. So ask yourself, okay, what type of stitch am I making in the next row? Well, I just made double crochet. So the next row will be a row of treble crochet. So for the treble crochet, I need to chain not 3, but 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I turn my work this way. All right. Okay, so those 4 chains are coming out of basically that DC3 together, and there's its top right there. See that? Okay, so I'm not messing with that at all. Here's the next stitch, and now I'm going to double crochet basically 3 together if I count the chain 3, but basically I'm going to treble crochet together over the next 2 double crochet. Okay, so the chain counts as a treble crochet, and then I'm going to combine that with the next 2 stitches to create a treble crochet 3 together. I know, it's a lot. Just follow what I'm doing. Forget about the terminology. So yarn over twice, 1, 2. As I said, that chain 4 has this top right there, which is the top of the DC3 together taken care of. So this right here is the next stitch. So in there, I'm going to start a treble crochet right there. So slice the icing on top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front for 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then let's start that next one. Yarn over twice, here's the next stitch, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front for 5 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and now that leaves me with 3 loops, and then I'll yarn over and go through all 3 loops like that. All right, you're going to notice that that's going to leave you with 1 more double crochet down there, and we're just going to put a treble crochet in that since this is the row of treble crochet. So yarn over twice, find that final double crochet, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And hallelujah, we are at a chain 3 space, so we know we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this part we know very well. So treble crochet goes in the first stitch, we chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, go into the 3rd one, make a treble crochet, chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, and then that 5th double crochet, we make a treble crochet. That takes us to the chain 3 space, so we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we repeat that. So you should get this nice slant on the edge. And continue in this pattern right there, all the way to the other stitch marker. I'll see you there. All right, I am just before that final block where I did decrease. So I just finished this. Now I need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And remember, you may not remember, but when we were coming in the other direction, just on the other side of that chain 3, or just before we got to the chain 3, this identical, I guess, mirror stitch on the other side, it just got a regular treble crochet. So we're going to put a regular treble crochet in that, slice and icing off the top of the cake. All right, and now we're going to do the treble crochet 3 together over that stitch, and also this DC3 together there, okay? So yarn over twice, and start a treble crochet, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause. Now let's start another one. Here's the next stitch, slice and icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and 1 more. It's right here, and there's its top right there. Yarn over twice, Slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and then that's going to leave you with 4 loops on your crochet hook, and you'll yarn over and go through all 4. Okay, and the slant continues. All right, so as I said, that was the final decrease row. Okay, so now it's super easy. So ask yourself, what stitch am I making in the next row? Oh yes, it must be the double crochet because I just made a row of treble crochet. For the double crochet, how many do you chain? 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work. Okay. So just like before, that chain 3 counts for that 3 together. So there's only 1 stitch here that we need to worry about, and we're going to put a double crochet in that treble crochet. So on the end of every row, you're going to have 2 stitches. They're either going to be 2 double crochet, in this case a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and a second double crochet, or it's going to be 2 treble crochet, or a chain 4 and a treble crochet. Okay. All right, so that's that. Slant continues. Now we chain 3 because we're at a chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, and you guys are well acquainted with the double crochet style row. So first treble crochet gets a double crochet. The chain 1 space gets a double crochet. That middle treble crochet gets a double crochet. The next chain 1 space gets a double crochet, and the 5th stitch, that treble crochet, gets a double crochet, like that, creating a block, reestablishing the block. That takes us to the chain 3 space, so we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we start creating another block. Okay, making those 5 double crochets, consecutive double crochets with no chains in between them until we get to the chain 3 space, like that, and then we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, continue on across. I'll show you the other side, and then I'll show you the next row, and then I'll let you fly. By the way, you can use stitch markers to mark each end, although it's pretty easy to identify even for beginners the end of a row because of the decrease in the slant. Okay. If you do use stitch markers, don't remove these in the corners that we put before we started decreasing, because you're going to come back to those to start to do the same identical pattern on the other side. Remember I told you the front and back? Yeah. So use other stitch markers if you need them. All right, so I'm here and I'm at the chain 3 space, so I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I started with 2 double crochet, or technically a chain 3 and a double crochet, so that's how I need to end. So here's 1 stitch, that treble crochet, it'll just get a double crochet, and then that treble crochet 3 together, here's its top, it's just going to also get a double crochet. So yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and make your double crochet. All right, the next row is going to be a treble crochet row, and remember we're not decreasing anymore. Okay, so treble crochet means chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it counts as a treble crochet. Turn your work, and now I just put a treble crochet in the next stitch. So remember I told you you're always going to have 2 stitches at the ends of your rows, at the beginning and at the end. Okay, it might be a chain 4 masked or pretending to be a treble crochet, or maybe a chain 3 pretending to be a double crochet, but you're only going to have 2 stitches at the beginning and end. All right, so now chain 3, because we're at the chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and then start the treble crochet pattern. So first stitch gets a treble crochet, chain 1, I'm speeding up, crocheting fast because you guys know this. Okay, chain 1, skip 1, and put a treble crochet in that 5th double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So you're going to continue in this fashion. I'll check back in, going back and forth, okay, until you get, I guess, a good depth to fit the torso. And I will, of the person that you're making this for, I'll check back in. When I check back in, I'll show you how many rows I do, okay? Starting from where I attach the yarn on these corners, right? Remember, keep those stitch markers there because we're gonna go back to them to crochet the same pattern, but on the other side, all right? All right, guys, enjoy. And you're gonna notice this is gonna go really fast because basically you're only working with, we've decreased, and then you're only working with half of the vest, okay? See you in a bit. Alrighty, so I have gotten all the rows of the back part of this tank top vest crocheted, okay? Starting with the row with the stitch markers where I attached the yarn, I ended up crocheting 23 rows, okay? So that includes these decreased rows. So counting the next row after the stitch marker, I crocheted 23. Now I am going to crochet the front of the vest tank top, okay? And basically I'm gonna attach yarn just the same way I did at the level of the stitch markers on both sides so that I can crochet the front. However, for the front, with the way that I want this to fit the recipient of this vest tank top, I'm going to crochet fewer rows. I'm only going to crochet 18, so 5 less rows. And the reason is I want the front to not go up as high so that it can create the neck, okay? So I'm going to show you how to attach, and we're going to go through the very same process. I'll get you started with these decrease rows. I'm going to get you started with these decrease rows, and then, yeah, you'll crochet approximately 5 less rows. So the front part of this tank top vest will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll end probably like at that line, okay? And then we'll take it from there. So don't get overwhelmed, just take your time. I'm here, I'm going through it too, and we will get this made. By the way, it's looking like, because I lined this up with a shirt, and it looks looking like this is narrow enough that it'll fit like maybe a smaller size person, but I'll give you an update on that later. By the way, this is how much of the second ball that I have, so still got a lot, and I have an extra one, which I'm sure I'll get into probably. All right, let's begin. So there's one more thing that I wanted to show you. So notice that this yarn is still attached to the ball up there, and normally a person would just cut their yarn, right? But I really didn't want to cut it just in case I have enough to be able to pick up right there. So what I did instead was I took the same ball, and when I started this with this ball, I used the yarn that's on the outside versus going into the center. So what I did was I dug into the center of the yarn or of the ball to get the other tail, okay? So now I'm going to use this tail and attach it here. So up there I'll be working with the ball on the outside. As I'm working on this front side of the vest for however long the yarn lasts, I'll be working, pulling the yarn from the inside of the ball. That's just something that I wanted to do. All right, so as I said, this is very similar to what we did when we worked on the back side, okay? So here's that same stitch marker. Notice, if you need a refresher of what you did, we started with that end double crochet, and then we started going that way. And notice that this row that we're about to make and this row that we did make is a row of treble crochet. So you should automatically be thinking, okay, when I attach my yarn, I'm going to have to chain 4, okay? And then I see, okay, that's like a treble crochet 4 together, and then after that it gets to, so that's in the chain 3 space, and then it gets to that first block and it starts the treble crochet chain 1, treble crochet chain 1, treble crochet chain 3 pattern. Okay, so it's a mirror image. Is that the word? Is that the term? It's basically the same way, except it's the same thing except going this way. So once again, just like we started in that final double crochet going that way, we're going to start in this final double crochet going this way. So I'm going to slice the icing off the top of the cake, and then I will hook this yarn on and then pull it through like that, and then I'll tie a couple of knots. 1, 2. This should be familiar to you because we already did this. All right, now I'm going to go into that same stitch, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through to the front so that I have a loop on my crochet hook. And now this is where I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because remember, this is a round of the treble crochet. That tail, I'm going to crochet over it for a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do a treble crochet 3 together. Here I did a treble crochet 4 together, but remember here, because I'm going this way, this is where I'm starting. I started with that chain 4, which counts as a treble crochet. So that 1 plus the 3 that I'm going to put in here, that's basically going to be my treble crochet 4 together, and it'll mirror that. All right, you guys know how to do this. Yarn over twice, go into the chain 3 space, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, start another one, yarn over twice, go back into the chain 3 space, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, yarn over twice, go back into the chain 3 space, yarn over, pull through to the front. I have my 6 loops on my crochet hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over, go through the 4 loops on your crochet hook. And you can see how it's mirrored. So right there, that's what I've done. All right, now this is where I start the treble crochet chain 1, treble crochet chain 1, treble crochet chain 3 pattern. So I'm going to do that over here. So there's no chain. I just go right to that first double crochet there. So I'll yarn over twice because I'm making treble crochet, slice the icing off the top of the cake. I'm still crocheting over that tail. Yarn over, pull through to the front. Now I yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and complete it. Yarn over, go through 2. Now I chain 1, yarn over twice to prepare, skip 1, go on to the next one, and make another treble crochet. Chain 1, yarn over to prepare, skip 1, and in that 5th double crochet, I make a treble crochet. And now I'm at the chain 3 space, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I start that pattern all over again with that next block. Chain 1, skip 1, go to the middle double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, go into that 5th double crochet of that block. Okay, now I'll cut that tail down later, but you see how it's mirrored. Okay, there's the decrease, there's the decrease, there's the pattern starting, there's the pattern starting, and so on and so forth. Okay, I will meet you once I get to the other side of this row. Okay, so I'm almost at that final block. As you see, the stitch marker is there, and if you forget what the pattern is for this decrease, you can either go back to the beginning of this row, or we can just look at the other side of that block, because remember, this is basically a mirror image. So here you see there's the chain 4, and then I do 3 treble crochet together, and then that pattern starts treble crochet, chain 1 space, treble crochet, chain 1 space, treble crochet. Okay, and then chain 3 space. So this treble crochet there corresponds to this one right there. So now I'm at the chain 3 space. So what do I need? Well, I need a total of when I count this chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 treble crochets together. Notice that if I don't count that chain 4, 3 of those treble crochet that I crochet together are in that chain 3 space. So for this chain 3 space, I'm going to put 3 treble crochet, partial treble crochets, and then I'll make the 4th one in this chain 3, the top chain of that chain 3, and then I'll close it all together, so it'll be 4 treble crochet together. Okay, let's begin. There is no chain space in between that treble crochet and the treble crochet 4 together, so we won't put one here, so we just go right to it. And I'm going to crochet over that tail, don't mind me. So yarn over twice, enter the chain 3 space, yarn over, pull through to the front. For our 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, pause. Let's start the second one. Enter, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause. Let's start the third one. Enter, same chain 3 space, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. All right, so we have 3 treble crochet, but I said we need 4, and remember we're going to put that 4th one in the top chain of that chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So yarn over twice, enter, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and then that leaves me with 5 loops on my crochet hook, and I'll yarn over and go through all 5 loops. And you see, it's a perfect mirror. All right, to start the next decrease round, think about what stitch am I going to be making in this next row. Did I say round? Row. The double crochet. So I only need 3 chains. So chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And I want to turn my work like this. All right, so for this one, this chain 3 right there counts for that treble crochet 4 together. But I'm going to put a double crochet 2 together over this treble crochet and over that chain 1 space right there. So yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake of that treble crochet, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and let's start another one in the chain 1 space, yarn over, go through 2, pause. Now I have 3 loops. I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3, and that is my decrease, and you see the slant continues. Now I'm going to put a double crochet in the 3 remaining stitches, and you might be saying, I only see 2 treble crochet. Don't forget that chain 1 space there. So slice the icing off the top of the cake, make your double crochet in that treble crochet, chain 1 space, make the double crochet, and then that final treble crochet, make the double crochet. And so now I've reestablished the block with the 5 stitches, okay? First is the chain 3, counts as 1 stitch, then the DC 2 together counts as the 2nd stitch. There's its top, and then 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm at a chain 3 space, so I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I start the double crochet pattern that you guys are very well aware of by now, because you've made it a lot at this point. So double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet in the treble crochet, and then the block is created, and then I'm at the chain 3 space, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I start it over. Okay, so continue doing this to the other edge. I'll show you how to decrease there, and then we have one more decrease row to make, and then you'll just continue with that alternating pattern for your either 18 rows like me, or your 5 fewer rows than you crocheted for the back panel. Okay, I'm now at the other end of the row, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing, make it symmetrical. So here's the final block. Okay, so I've chained 3. For that chain 3, don't mind those strands, I got to cut them down. So the first 3 stitches going in this direction get double crochets, remember I said I have 3 stitches, and I was like, it probably looks like I only have 2, but if you count that chain 1 space, it's 3 stitches, and I put a double crochet in each of those 3. So those are those 3. And then I started with the chain 3 and then a double crochet 2 together. So it's technically kind of like a double crochet 3 together when you count that chain 3. So that's what I'm going to do here. I have a chain 1 space, so I'm going to start a double crochet, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then I have this treble crochet there. So I'm going to slice the icing off top of the cake, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then I have this grouping, this treble crochet 4 together. So I'm going to go into the top of that and put the started double crochet, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then I have my 4 loops, yarn over, go through all 4, and that's the mirror. Okay. All right, one more decrease round, if I'm not mistaken. So chain what? 4 or 3? That was a double crochet round. I'm about to start a treble crochet round, so 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, you can just look at what you did over here. Okay, so I have chain my 4. I'm going to turn my work now, and then once again, just look here. What did you do? So it looks like it was 2 stitches. That's one, and then that's the other. So for me, this chain 4, which counts as a treble crochet, that counts for, I don't know where my stitch marker went. Oh, here it is. That counts, so that's that top, right? That chain 4 counts for that treble crochet 3 together. Okay, all that belongs or is covered by the chain 4. So I see I have 1, 2, 3 stitches. So what I'm going to do is start a treble crochet in the next stitch, which is here. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then I'll start another one in the next one. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3. So the slant continues. Now, in this final double crochet there on the end, I'm going to put a regular treble crochet. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. So basically I have 2 stitches on the end. This treble crochet 3 together, which all belong to that one top, and then that treble crochet right there, which has its one top. Now I'll start the pattern. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, because I'm at the chain 3 space, and then start the treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet pattern. So no, chain 1, go to skip 1, go to the middle one, treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and then that final double crochet there will get a treble crochet like that. Now I'm at the chain 3 space, so I'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll continue that pattern all the way across, and I'll show you how to decrease at the end of this row. By the way, this is exactly what I did when I made the back panel. So this, I'm including this just as like extra tutorial for those of you who didn't get it the first time or could benefit from seeing me do it again. Okay, I will check back in on the other side. Alrighty, I am at the other side. So I'm at the chain 3 space, so I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then remember, I want to end up with just 2 stitches, okay? So that first double crochet will get a treble crochet, a complete treble crochet. Yarn over, go through 2, 3 times, okay? So that's 1 stitch. And now to get only 1 more stitch, I'm going to have to treble crochet 3 together. So yarn over twice, go in the next stitch, slicing the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, start the next one, and the next stitch there, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then here's that final stitch there, all that, yarn over twice to prepare, and here's its top, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Now you're gonna have 4 loops, and then you yarn over and go through all 4 loops. And now we have 2 stitches there. We have this stitch, which is a standalone treble crochet, and then we have a treble crochet 3 together, which is its own stitch. And there's its top. So those 3 bodies all belong to that one top there. So 1, 2. And you see, that's exactly what happens over here. Okay? That's 1 stitch. Well, sorry, that's 1 stitch. And then there's a standalone treble crochet. And then when we start the next row, which is not a decrease row, we have 2 stitches. So we're always gonna, from this point on, have 2 stitches on the end, whether they're treble crochets or double crochets. All right, so now this is at the point where we're done with the decrease rows. We just now focus on alternating between the treble crochet row and the double crochet row, and we always start each row and finish each row with 2 stitches. All right, so we just completed a treble crochet row, so we chain 3 because the next row is double crochet. 1, 2, 3. That counts as a stitch. We turn our work. That chain 3 counts for that grouping right there, and then we put a double crochet in that one. So slice the icing off the top of the cake and make your double crochet. Chain 3 because we're at the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3. And then we start reestablishing our blocks. Right now, they're kind of like skeletons, right? There are gaps in there, but we make them solid in the double crochet rows by filling in the gaps with the double crochet in those chain 1 spaces. Like that. And then in this final treble crochet, we have our double crochet. Okay. And that takes us to a chain 3 space, so we chain 3. So you see that block has been reestablished. Okay, let me show you the other end just one more time, and then I'll let you fly. So I'm at the other side, I'm at the chain 3 space, so I'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll end the row the way I started it with 2 stitches, 2 double crochets. So yarn over, here's the first one, in that treble crochet, and then remember this grouping right there at the end, that's the other stitch. All that belongs to just that one top, double crochet. All right, next row is a treble crochet row, so I chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as a stitch. One of the 2 stitches that I said will be on the end and at the beginning. And then I make the next one and the next stitch over, that double crochet. Like that. Now I'm at the chain 3 space, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I start the treble crochet pattern. Yarning over, going through 2, 3 times, chain 1, skip a stitch, make another one in the middle, double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and in that 5th double crochet of the block, make a treble crochet. Now I'm at the chain 3 space, chain U. Okay? So continue alternating between the treble and double crochet rows until you get the correct or your desired number of rows. Remember, it should be 5 fewer rows than the number of rows that you made for the back panel, and I'll check back in at that point. Alrighty, you guys, so I have crocheted my 18 rows for the front panel, and when I line it up with the back panel, that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows for the back. Just think about it. This is the part where it's the part that goes to the neck, right? But this front part is going to be the part that corresponds like with the collar, okay? So now I'm still attached over here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet to this second block, and then I'm going to decrease so that I come over to this block, and then from there I'm going to crochet up. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'll have to cut my yarn and start over here, and then I will go over to this second block, decrease, and then the strap will be that block there. Okay, so I'm going to start out here like that. These 3 blocks will form the collar, and then it's going to curve like that. Okay, and yeah, I'm going to also add probably a couple of more rows on both sides of the back as well. And then once I get all the rows crocheted on the front panel and the back panel, then I'm going to connect by using the single crochet stitch. So just want to tell you what I'm doing, but yeah, let's get started now. So we'll start over here. So I just completed a double crochet row, so now it's time for the treble crochet row. So I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not decreasing on this side, so I'll just go right in there and make a treble crochet. Got to get out of the double crochet mode now. And remember I said that I'm going to go over to the second block. So 1, 2. So I'm at the chain 3. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do that treble crochet pattern, which we're all very familiar with at this point, over this next block. Chain 1, chain 1, all right, so that's that. I'm at the chain 3, so I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now I need to begin my decrease. Okay, so I have 1 double crochet there, so I'm going to put a treble crochet in that first one. So I have that treble crochet. I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, and then over these next 3 stitches I'm going to treble crochet 3 together. So yarn over, go through 2 twice, pause, start another one. Yarn over, go through 2 twice, pause, start the final one. Yarn over twice, got to get out of the double crochet mode, and then yarn over, go through 2 twice, like that. At least move 4 loops, yarn over, go through all 4 loops. Okay, so I'm trying to make my way back over here so that I only have this 1 block in the corner. Now I'm going to, because the next row is a row of double crochet, only chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I will turn my work. All right, and I'm going to put a double crochet in there to start it. This is another decrease row, so yarn over, go in the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, pause. Now here's the treble crochet, go into that one, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then yarn over, go through 3. And that continues the slant. I've decreased. Now I'm at the chain 3, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And now I continue with my normal double crochet pattern, which we're familiar with. And remember, we're reestablishing the block. So the block is comprised of 5 double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a regular 2 double crochet in the corner, because remember the corners always have 2 stitches. It could be 2 double crochet, as is the case right now, or it could be 2 treble crochet, as it's going to be in the next row. All right, chain 4, because the next row is a row of treble crochet. Turn my work. All right, I put a treble crochet in the very next stitch. That takes me to the chain 3. So I chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I start this the treble crochet pattern. Chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1. Okay, so now it's time to decrease again. Here was the other decrease, okay, and here's that chain 3. So in this 5th one, we're going to start a treble crochet like this, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Then we're going to start another one and go into the chain 1 space, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Then we're going to put another one in that chain space, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. All right, and now we're going to yarn over and go through all 4. And that's how we've decreased. All right, you guys, so here's where I left off, right? And I've lined it up. So remember, this is the front panel right here. I've lined it up with the back. And this double crochet row corresponded to the double crochet row of the back panel. This treble crochet row that I just completed corresponds to this treble crochet row of the back panel. And according to this, I have 2 more rows, okay? But I'm probably going to do 4 or 5 more rows because remember, this is the back panel. This is going to be right on the neck, and I don't want it to be super tight. I want there to be kind of like a strap on both sides in the back as well. So I'm going to crochet 4 or 5 more rows. If I crochet 4 more rows from here, then that means I'll have to add 2 more rows to create that strap on the back. If I crochet 5 more rows from here, then because I already have 2, I'll have to add 3 more rows for that strap. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, okay? But you can see how it's producing the collar that I wanted. See the curve there? Okay. I'll pull it up, see the curve? So I'm going to finish this side and then I'll check back in and show you how to do the mirror reflection, or what's the, I still can't think of that terminology, but yeah, it'll be a mirror of this side over here. So I'll go to the second block from the end and then make my way in, and then it'll have this opening for the collar on both sides. And then I'll crochet the exact number of rows over here as I did over here. Then we'll add the 2 on the back, the 2 or 3 rows on the back panel, and then we will move on to the single crochet. Well, connecting and borders and stuff. I know it seems like a long video, and maybe it is, but it's fun, right? And it's gonna be so worth it, so hang in there. All right, so now the next row is a double crochet row. So we only chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That counts as a double crochet. Turn my work, so it counts for that grouping there. Then I'm at this chain 1 space, so I'm gonna go in there and put a double crochet. That's the second double crochet. Now I'm at the treble crochet, I put a double crochet. That's the third double crochet. Now I'm at the next chain 1 space, put a double crochet. That's the 4th double crochet, and here's the treble crochet. So put a double crochet, and there's the 5th double crochet. And just like that, I've reestablished my block. I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I put 2 double crochet on the end, as you guys already know to do with this pattern. The next row is a treble crochet row, so I chain 4, 3, 4. These rows are really short. Turn my work, and I put a treble crochet in the next stitch. Chain 3 because I'm at the chain 3 space, and then I follow the treble crochet pattern. Chain 1, skip 1, go to the middle, double crochet, make a treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and at this chain 3, just go in that top chain and put your 3rd treble crochet. All right, so those are my 2 rows that I needed to get me up to the height of the back panel. Now I'm going to crochet either 2 or 3 more. So the next row is a double crochet row, so I'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn my work, and that chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. I will put a double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet in the treble crochet, double crochet in the next chain 1 space, double crochet in the third treble crochet. That takes me to the chain 3 space, so I chain 3, and then I end with 2 double crochet, one in the treble crochet and the other in the 4th chain up of that chain 4. Okay, next row is a treble crochet row, so I chain 4, 3, 4, turn my work, treble crochet in the next stitch, chain 3 because I'm at the chain 3 space, and then I follow the treble crochet pattern. Treble crochet in the final stitch like that. Okay, let's see. I think I'll do one more row. The next row is a double crochet row, so I only chain 3, turn my work, and then I reestablish the block by crocheting the 5 double crochets, and remember that chain 3 counts as one of those 5 double crochets. Chain 3 at the beginning. That takes me to the chain 3, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I end with the 2 double crochet on the end. 1 and then 2. Okay, so that is where I'm at. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is my strap. And let's see, I crocheted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let me line this up and show you how many I need to add to the back strap. Put that stitch marker there to hold this while I manipulate this. Okay, I got this situated. I just want to show you when I line up the rows. This is the treble crochet row, and that's where it's completely lined up. But then I added 3 more rows, so 1, 2, 3. So that means I'm going to have to add 3 more rows on the back panels on both sides a little bit later, okay? But for now, let's do what we did. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's do what we did on this side over here. So you'll remember that I told you that we want to start at the second block, 1, 2, from the edge. So when we look over here, here's the second block, 1, 2, and then you'll see that I started to decrease, starting with that first, or that double crochet closest to the chain 3. So on this side, here's the same double crochet closest to the chain 3. So that's where I'm going to start my yarn. So I'll insert my crochet hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, and just tie a couple of knots. And I did cut it from the other location. Okay, so 1 and then 2. Now you guys know you need to go in, yarn over, pull through, and move that out of the way. Okay, and now you're going to chain, what row are we on? What type of row? The treble crochet row. So we need to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to crochet over this tail. All right, so if we look over here, we see, okay, what happened over here? Well, it was that grouping of 3 treble crochet together, then we chained 1, created a chain 1 space, and then we put a treble crochet in that final double crochet. So we need to do something similar. So over here, we need to treble crochet 3 together. So this chain 4 counts as the first treble crochet that will be part of that treble crochet 3 together, and then 1, 2, so that's the 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we'll chain 1, then that'll be the chain 1 space over that one, then we'll put a regular treble crochet in that 5th one there. Okay, so what that looks like is this. Yarn over twice to prepare, go into the next stitch, slicing the icing off top the cake, and yarn over, go through 2 twice, pause, start another one. Next stitch, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then yarn over, go through 3. Now we will chain 1 to create the space, yarn over twice, skip 1, and in that 5th one we'll put a lone treble crochet like that. Now we're at the chain 3, so we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we continue with the treble crochet pattern, which is the treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet in the middle stitch, chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet in that 5th stitch. I know you guys are going to be sick of that pattern by the end of this tutorial. Like that. Now we're at a chain 3 space, so we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then on the end, remember the end always gets the 2 stitches. In this case, it's 2 treble crochet. And there's a chain 3, so we just put the treble crochet in the top chain or the 3rd chain up of that chain 3. All right, next row is a double crochet row, so we only chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We turn our work. Double crochet goes in the next stitch. We're at the chain 3 space, so we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we start the double crochet pattern. Sorry, I yarned over twice. I was still in treble crochet mode. So make the double crochet. Yikes. Okay, there we go. Get it together, Treya. Get it together. 2 and the next one. 3. Next one. 4. And next one. 5. So I've reestablished that block. So remember, I'm trying to decrease. This is also a decrease row. And if you forget what to do, just go over and look at the other side. Okay, so we did this row. This one, it seems like, okay, there is just basically 3 double crochet together. So I chained 3 and then I did the 2 double crochet with that chain 3. So 3 double crochet together. So I want them something similar. So you'll notice on this side we have the grouping, chain 1 space, and treble crochet. Same thing here, grouping, chain 1 space, treble crochet. So how do we get that same pattern? Well, we need to double crochet 3 together, and this is how we'll do it. So first I'm going to chain 3 because I'm at the chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3. Then yarn over. In this treble crochet, I'll start a double crochet, yarn over, go through 2, pause. Then in the chain 1 space, I'll start a double crochet, pause, and then in this final grouping, I'll start another double crochet, yarn over, go through 2, pause, and then I have my 4 loops, yarn over, and go through all 4. All right, and the slant continues. The next row is a treble crochet row, so I know to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once again, I'll turn my work. So I've chained 4, turned my work, and in this chain 1 space, since that chain 4 counts for that stitch, I'm going to start a treble crochet. Yarn over, go through 2 twice, pause, and then I'm going to start another treble crochet in the first double crochet that I get to, like that. I have that, 3 loops on my crochet hook. Now I yarn over and go through all 3 loops. And so it's similar to this one where all 3 are there, and then I start the regular treble crochet pattern. So now I will chain 1 and then skip 1, go in the middle one, put a treble crochet, chain 1, skip the next one, go to the 5th one or the end one, put a treble crochet. That takes me to the chain 3 space, so I chain 3, and then I end with my 2 treble crochet on the end. And put that final treble crochet in the 3rd chain up of that chain 3. And this is what we have. All right, and now the next row is a double crochet row, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I turn my work. Next stitch gets a double crochet. That takes me to the chain 3 space. I chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And now I should be working to establish that block. So I need 5 double crochet. So go put one there, put one in the chain 1 space, put one in the middle treble crochet, put one in the next chain 1 space, and then put one in this grouping of 3 treble crochet together, like that. Okay. Now we're down to our 1 block. Next row is a treble crochet row, so we chain 4, 3, 4, turn our work, and then with this one, this is a little bit different. So that's the chain 4, right, for the treble crochet, but we need to skip one. So now we go back to where we chain a 5th one to create the chain 1 space, and then we go right to that middle stitch like that. You didn't encounter that on the other side because we weren't working from that direction, but with this one, just note the chain 4 counts for that double crochet. Then we need to chain a 5th one to create the chain 1 space for that middle stitch. Then we put the treble crochet in the 3rd double crochet. Now we chain 1 again, skip a stitch, and go in the 5th one like that. Make the treble crochet. That takes us to the chain 3 space. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we end with our 2 treble crochet. Like that. All right, let's see. Let's compare. Zoom out a little bit. I think I have one more round to do, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I have 3 more. What was I thinking? Yeah, I forgot. I forgot I did extra. So you see, I have about 3 more to go. So now this is easy. We just follow the normal pattern. Next row is double crochet. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn our work, double crochet in the next stitch. And you guys know this part, so I'm gonna pop off and finish this up. Okay. Check back in once I get all my rows. I just want to pop back on right quick for anyone that might be confused. So this is that chain 5. I put the 4th double crochet in the chain 1 space. And if you're wondering where to put the 5th one, just count up 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th chain up of that chain 5. And there you go. So I have all of my rows now made on the front panel. So I'm going to chain 1 and then cut my yarn and fasten off, because I need to attach that yarn to the back panel to create those extra, I think it's three rows. Okay, so yeah, let me rearrange this and then I will show you what it's looking like. So when I have it all laid out like this, you see the collar there, and because I crocheted 3 extra rows on the front panel, I need to now add 3 extra rows on the back panel. Okay, so it's just these 3, the double crochet, triple crochet, and double crochet on either side at that width. So it only includes 1 block and then the 2 stitches on the edge. So that's what we're going to do next. We will start on the right side. Okay, so here's the collar. We're going to start on the right side. Start on the right side of the back panel where that tail is. That's where I cut my yarn. So I'm going to insert my hook into that corner stitch and then yarn over and pull the yarn through, basically attaching it again like that, and I'll tie a couple of knots. 1, 2. Now I will insert my crochet hook into that same stitch and then yarn over, move all the tails out of the way, yarn over and pull through so we can get a loop on our crochet hook. And now this is a double crochet row, so we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we continue with the normal double crochet row just to this first block. So the first stitch, or I guess the next one, we'll get a double crochet. I'm going to crochet over those tails like that, chain 3 because we're at the chain 3 space. And then now we need to reestablish that block by making the 5 double crochet and the treble crochet and chain 1 spaces in between. Alright, this is not a decrease row at all. Okay, we're just crocheting 3 normal, very short rows. Alright, the next row is a treble crochet row, so we chain 4, turn our work. Alright, the chain 4 counts for the first double crochet. Now we need to skip 1, so we chain 1 to skip 1, and then we skip 1, go into the next one and put the treble crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, go in that final double crochet and put a treble crochet. Now we're at the chain 3 space, so we chain 3, and then we end with 2 treble crochet. And then we put the treble crochet in the 3rd chain up of that chain 3 on the end. Alright, I said 3 rows, so we've made 2. I need 1 more. The next row is a double crochet row, so I chain 3, turn my work. Double crochet goes in the very next stitch. That takes me to the chain 3 space, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I reestablish that block by making 5 double crochet in the treble crochet and chain 1 spaces. And remember, this is that chain 5 that I'm at, so that 5th double crochet just goes into the 4th chain up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can grab 2 loops, 2 strands on there so it's secure. Alright, and now I've crocheted my 1, 2, 3 extra rows on that side, so I will chain 1, cut my yarn, and fasten off. And I need to do the other side now. So over here, I started with the first block. So I'm 1 block from the edge. So that's where I'll go in and attach the yarn. And then I'll tie a knot or 2. 1, 2. Now I'll go back into that same stitch and get a loop on my crochet hook. So I yarn over, pull through. Now I have my loop. So this is a double crochet row, remember? So we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That counts as the first of the 5 double crochet that I'm going to make to create this block. So that takes me to the chain 1 space. So now I just go in there, put my double crochet. I go into the, trying to crochet over this tail, to the treble crochet, make the double crochet, next chain 1 space, double crochet. That's 4 double crochet, and then in that final treble crochet, put my 5th double crochet. That takes me to the chain 3, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I end with the 2 double crochet. Put the final double crochet in the 4th chain up of that chain 4, like that. 2 more rows to make. Next row is a treble crochet row, so I chain 4, I turn my work, and then the next stitch we'll get a treble crochet. That takes me to the chain 3, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I follow the treble crochet pattern. Chain 1, skip 1, go go into the third double crochet, make your treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and in that final stitch in the, those are chains, right? Yeah, the third chain up, I just put my treble crochet. All right, one more row, and it's a double crochet row, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I turn my work. All right, chain 3 counts for that first stitch. Now I'll put a double crochet in the chain 1 space, a double crochet in the treble crochet, a double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then the 5th double crochet goes into that treble crochet. That takes me to the chain 3, so I chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I end with 2 double crochet on the end, the first going into the treble crochet, and then the second one going into the 4th chain up of that chain 4. All right, and those are my 3 rows on that side. I chain 1, cut my yarn, and fasten off. Now that we have the same number of rows on both the front and the back panel, now we need to just connect the front panel to the back panel on both sides. So how you want to do this is you want to turn this inside out. So just pull it through like that. And now we're going to use the single crochet stitch to connect. So I left some yarn on this side. Attached, or I left a long tail so that I would be able to do this. So I'm just going to line up the stitches. Here's the chain stitch. I'm going to go on the top stitch of that chain stitch, go over, go through the other stitch over there. Since the yarn is over there, I'm going to bring it over to me. So bring it over like that. Let's try that again. All right, yarn over, pull through. All right, so let's just chain 1 to secure it. Now I'm going to go back in there and make a single crochet. So go through both sides, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops. I have my 2 loops, and now I just yarn over and go through 2. And I do this for every stitch across. Here's that stitch. I slice the icing off the top of that one. I slice the icing off the top of the corresponding stitch on the other panel. Yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Now we're in the realm of the chain 3 spaces. So we need to put 3 single crochet in there. So 1, 2, and 3. That was easy. Now we have the blocks to crochet single crochets into. So just slice the icing off of the double crochet over on this panel, slice the icing off the top of the double crochet on the other panel, yarn over, pull through to the front, 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops. And if you line them up, you can just very easily slice the icing off of both stitches simultaneously. I know there are a lot of tails right now. Don't let that bother you too much. You'll weave them in later. I try to crochet over as many of them in the moment so I have fewer to weave in later. So with this final double crochet, you notice that the corresponding stitch is the chain 3 on the other side. Just slip stitch into the top chain of the chain 3 and make your single crochet. And that's how you connect with single crochet. Now we'll chain 1, cut our yarn, create another tail, and fasten off. And then you'll weave that in. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. None of these tails are really long enough to connect with, so I'm going to have to attach the yarn to connect this side. But you guys know how to attach your yarn now, so I'll let you do that. This video is quite long. I'll see you once this is connected and flip back to the outside, to the correct side. All right, you guys, so the last thing I want to do to kind of make this tank top slash vest look a little bit nicer and neater is do a row or 2 of single crochet. So I'll probably do 2 rows, or I guess rounds, since it's all connected, of single crochet in this area, and then on the side here, from here to here, I'll just do maybe 1 round of single crochet on both sides. Okay, I like the look of the bottom, so I'm not gonna mess with that at all. It's beautiful as it is. So when you attach your yarn, you can obviously attach it anywhere, but think about how you want your, like if you want your single crochets, that's going to be the stitch that I'm using, to be facing inward or outward. I want mine to be facing outward, so this is the front, here's the column, or the collar. So let's see, I'll probably start in the back, so my tail will be back there. And then of course, you guys already know, I'm gonna attach my yarn. And yeah, why not just pull it in the chain 3 space? It's very open. Attach my yarn, tie a couple of knots. 1, 2, and by the way, while I am making these single crochets, whenever I encounter any tails, I'm going to crochet over them so I don't have to weave them in later. Alright, so that's where I attached my yarn. I'm going to go in, yarn over, pull through to the front, and chain 1 to further secure it. And now I'm just going to put single crochets in every stitch and space around, chain 1 space around. So let's go in here. Since we started in there, we'll put 1 single crochet there, and then when I come back around, I'll put 2 more in there, since that's a chain 3 space, so it'll have a total of 3 single crochet. Now this treble crochet gets a single crochet, chain 1 space, it's a single crochet, treble, single, and so on. Okay, let me crochet over these tails. All right, next chain 1 space gets a single, next treble gets a single, this chain 3 space gets 3 single crochets. Trying to crochet over this tail very neatly. Okay, very good, that's better. Like that, and then now I'm back to the treble. So I'm just going to go around probably twice, and I'll show you what it looks like. By the way, when you get to the part where you're working on the sides of the stitches, just crochet enough single crochets so that your work does not buckle. So let's see, I can put 1 in there, and then that allows it to not buckle. Here I'm thinking 3, because that's the side of a treble crochet and it's pretty tall. And then here, and you don't have to be exact, just kind of eyeball it and, you know, use your best judgment. But that's how you do that. See? Now I'm at the chain 3 space where I started. Remember, I already put 1 single crochet in there, so I'm just going to put 2. So it'll have a total of 3, and then I slip stitch into the single crochet, chain 1, and then I'm going to do another round of single crochet. And this time it'll be even easier because you've established the first round of stitches, so you know exactly where to crochet. Just crochet into every stitch that you made before. You don't have to guess or try to figure out how many stitches to put in the side of a stitch, or a horizontal treble crochet. Okay, I'll meet you once we get back here. Almost back around. 1 and then 2, and then slip stitch to the beginning one, chain 1, cut my yarn, fasten off, turn it around. Just like with my hats, I like to leave a tail on the back side, so I know that this is the back side, like that. So bring it through like that, yarn over, pull through, and that causes the tail to tend toward the inside, and then I can cut it down. Alright, so this is what this is looking like. Let me zoom out a little bit, or a lot. And now you see it creates that nice border. And if I wanted this to be even more close, I could do more rounds. Last thing I'm going to do on this video is add a border of single crochet, probably just one on each of the sides. So once again, think about if you want the front or the back of your stitches, in this case the single crochet, to show. I want the front as always, so I'm going to just start where those initial stitch markers are. So I'll insert my crochet hook there where that stitch marker is. Let me zoom back in and then grab my yarn, pull it in, and then tie a couple of knots. 1, 2. Then I reinsert my crochet hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, only that loop, only that strand, chain 1 to secure it, and then go back in there one more time and make a single crochet. And now I can just start placing my single crochets along the side. And like I said, I'm going to crochet over all these tails, so I'm most excited to be doing this border because I get to get rid of a lot of those scraggly tails that are driving me crazy. So yes, you'll do that with this side and the other side, and then I'll check back in and show you what it looks like. Can you guys hear? I'm getting a little tired. Been going for a while with this tutorial, but it's for you guys. So alright, so I wanted to demonstrate how to weave in a tail for any beginners that might be watching. All the other tails have been tucked away or crocheted over. So just take your yarn, feed it through the darning weaving tapestry needle, and go through some nearby stitches in one direction. And try to make sure you stay to the back of the stitches. And you'll just pull it through like that. Don't cause your work to bunch up, okay? And then take a slightly different path, going back in the opposite direction. Basically, we're just getting the yarn knotted into the work. Okay, and just pull only as much as you need to. Then you cut the strand down like that. And now even I don't know where I can't see the strand, and it just disappears. Okay, so this is what the final product looks like. I won't be able to get all of this in here, but do my best to show you parts of it at a time. Okay, so here's the top. Here are the parts that go over the shoulder. Obviously there's the back part, and then here is the bottom of it. Okay, so you can kind of see what it looks like. If I'm able to get a picture, I will include that in this tutorial. So as you can see, it's not hard, but it does require some time and focus. In fact, if this is a direction that I'm going to be taking my channel, I'm definitely going to probably go or switch to posting videos a little less often, because it's going to require more time that I already don't have to complete these tutorials. But no, I'm very excited. This is my first crochet project like this, and it really is a beautiful pattern, and it's perfect because at least where I'm at, I mean, it's spring now, so the warmer weather is coming, so it's perfect to start now making these types of projects because we have time still to get them made in time for summer. Okay, and let me think. Oh yeah, I want to thank Xavier Crochet. Obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious if you don't know who he is. I think he has like 150 something thousand subscribers, so maybe you do know him. His channel is like 3 times bigger than mine, but I believe he, well, his video is in Portuguese, so I was able to follow him without converting the video, you know, without listening to the dub version, but the dub version is also an option. And yeah, I followed that and made this. So this is my first video tutorial of this type where I actually learned and now I was able to teach you. So if I continue to make more of these, and you guys will have to let me know if you want to see more of this style, then I'll begin to incorporate, you know, my style into it. But this was kind of like the first one that I ever made, and yeah, I love it. So hopefully you guys do as well. So thank you, Xavier, if you ever see this, for being such an incredible teacher of crochet. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this video, but you know, I will see you in the next one. And yeah, this is the first vest tank top that I'm making, so I don't have a playlist yet, but it'll be the first video in that playlist. So yeah, just watch whatever I have up top if you want to see more videos from me. And if you like my vibes, like the way I teach, then consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Happy crocheting!